Are DJs really ruining the music industry? This is a topic that goes back decades to the years of wedding bands and DJs starting to charge less and perform and be able to provide a wider variety of music. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. And now it's popping up. I'm seeing it here and there on the internet. I came across one video that was really interesting, and I'll be reacting to it. And I want to know your opinion on it. And then stick around because afterwards, I'm going to give my opinion as to what's really ruining the music industry. But let's get into it. So, as we come across this next video here, and we're going to go through it, it's about 2 minutes or so long. I'll try not to interrupt it. Let's listen to what this woman has to say, and then let's discuss. Here we go.
I know I speak for so many people when I say this. DJs are the biggest losers I have ever met in my life. I'm a singer. I've been making music since I was 6 years old. I've been in the music industry since I was 17. I've really studied music. I've studied art. I think deeply and critically about it. And I also am actively decolonizing my mind and learning and deconstructing things every day because I'm an artist. And I know multiple musicians that are also artists and very beyond what I have accomplished in terms of really picking apart art and the world and spiritually understanding and harnessing the importance of music. With that being said, music is extremely spiritual, and nothing bothers me more than a person who has not honed their craft, that is just in it for the clout and just to look cool, to basically just drop other people's music, people who have spent hours, years, days, decades perfecting their craft and making music that really hits the soul, and then standing up in front of people to just play the music, to disrespect, to almost just to kind of take the clout, the hype of that artist and claim it as their own. And this is something that I've seen with DJs, and I can't stand it. And it's lowered the bar of entry into the music industry so much. We used to really have talent. We used to have people who really respected the craft. We don't even have proper MCs anymore. We just have DJs who want to be party promoters, or DJs that just want to look cool. People that just think they can just, put ones and twos on the deck. Like, it's not, but that's not what it is. DJ used to be about emceeing. It used to be about culture. It used to be about really connecting community. It's become something far more nefarious, and it's something where the bar has been so low. The bar is in hell now for who gets to participate in the music industry and music business and really engage with music and the spiritual tone of it, that it's embarrassing. And I want to be the face of this hate train. I volunteer as tribute. We write at dawn. And let's start this hate train. Let's get DJs out of here. I'm sick of it.
Wow. Well, I said there, the one thing I really right off the bat is when she says it's a spiritual thing. It's this, music is this, music is that. Music is different for everybody. I'm not saying that's spiritual or whatever. It could be for a lot of people, but music, you can't force your one thought about music on other people. It's an individual taste, it's individual experience, and also too, it's been proven. There's been songs that have hit number one that don't even have any lyrics. They're just instrumentals. There's a guy from Italy that just really he spoke gibberish trying to imitate English and had a hit song. You have songs that were just ridiculously silly, but people like them. I can go on and on and on. Music is just a creative expression where people can express what they want, and people can take in what they want, So that's right off the bat. Sorry, I had to make that comment because I was a little like, okay. Like I love it when people have like this one size fits all type of thought. But anywho, let's move on. So, there's musicians and there's DJs. Obviously, there's a big difference, right? And musicians, there's different types. I mean, you got people that are professional, amateurs, people who play with backing tracks, some people who don't, some people like myself now that use AI, some people don't. DJs, they're two separate functions. It's almost like an apple and orange. There's times where you want to use a DJ for certain things, and there's times you want to use musicians for certain things, and they do overlap. But to necessarily say that DJs are affecting directly musicians, I'm not saying completely that they're not, but as far as destroying the music industry or saying that that's what's making it really bad, like really, I'll get into that in a second. I don't want to guess what she's trying to say. She should be able to articulate that. But again, if you want to have a DJ, you want to promote music and a different style of music, keep people dancing, keep people moving, um, and a lot of things too about DJs is they actually promote music. So if you have original music, I know some DJs like to remix things up, speed things down, and there's all different types of DJs, right? There's some that are really professional and they know how to really seek the audience, see how they're feeling, and adapt really quickly, real time, and be able to mix things in real time. And then you got other DJs that are just basically just hitting a button and just letting a playlist go. Let's face it, there's all kinds, right? But let's just say a regular DJ, if you're popular enough where you get out there and you have your music, they're going to promote you, right? Let's say, whether you be local or on the radio, it's a chance for them to showcase your music. And I know a lot of places, whether it be roller rink or a small bar, sometimes they'll cater to the local artists and play some of their stuff. So not necessarily a bad thing. Um, so when you're out there, you could take advantage of that. I mean, people got to look at some of these partnerships in the music industry. It's so hard right now. I mean, instead of ripping each other apart, but again, you get a kind of a little taste that there was some sour grapes there with her video. Another thing is too, as I mentioned, there's good DJs and there's bad DJs, right? I mentioned there are some that don't know what the heck they're doing. They don't know how to drop. They don't know how to, go from one song to another. And you got those that are, it's like masterful, right? And don't get me started with the old school DJs that use actually physical records. I mean, those guys, a lot of those guys were like masters and were able to do amazing things, not with the technology that we have today. So again, there. Now, why people prefer DJs? Well, sometimes it's lower cost. Let's face it, bands can be very expensive. And also, too, it's a variety of music. They can pull, like today, with today's technology, pretty much any song, they can download it within minutes and get things up and running. A band, they may know 60. Some wedding bands may know over 100 songs. But if they don't have what you're looking for, and they're usually a certain genre, not necessarily, but there are only a few genres of music. Now, if they're a wedding band, they're going to take what the bride and groom would like to hear and play, and they'll go off and they'll learn it. But it's not the same. Now, and flip side of things, even though some DJs are like really can be performists and really get out there and give it a show, there's nothing like a live band, right? That can you interact and seeing somebody go crazy on the drums and feeling the beat. You just don't get that with the DJ. So those are different experiences. But I think people prefer DJs in, different dance and different settings, and that's fine. Again, sometimes it's a different type of music, it's a different type of feel. Oh, before I go on to what I think is really affecting the music industry, what's bringing it down. My name is Edshue. I have a channel that not only do I talk about music topics, but my main thing is I have AI musicians. I got 7 of them with various different styles. Please take a moment to subscribe. I send out new music every month. It's all positive related music. There's nothing, that's what I consider bad or vulgar or anything like that. It's just good music, different styles, anything from country, hip hop, rap, all this. I'm able to take my ideas and different things I have, and instead of trying to find artists, I can use AI to kind of express myself there. So I really appreciate it if you subscribe. That'd be great. So without further ado, I will talk about a few things. One is artist popularity, right? So back in the old days, 50s, 60s, 70s, I won't go as far as 80s, but maybe you could go down to like a local record store, try to record a record, or if you had a really good song, you could get on the radio much easier. It was like local people were very popular. You can get anybody who wasn't, on TV or in the movies could be an artist and get their music out there, right? But as time went on, it's becoming like a popularity contest. How many viewers you have, how many subscribers, how many followers, what TV show have you been on? A lot of these, you see a lot of these pop artists that came from like the Disney show or some other show or done commercials or their family members are in the music industry or in the TV or film industry. So you'd be surprised how many people really come from like nowhere, like somebody off the street that sings really well and becomes really popular. You don't really see that much anymore in decades in the past. So one thing, it's become more of a popularity contest. Oh, I can't even talk. Contest, and music is just like one of those things that go along with the personality. And even I think it was Cardi B or one of them who said, believe it or not, they said it very well. It's become more about that than about the quality of music. That's why I see the quality of music kind of decline. Okay, or at least in my opinion. And number two, the music industry control. So, the music industry is going to pick and select people that they can control, right? They don't want drama like anything else. They want people that they know they're going to, follow the rules. I'm not going to get into the whole, a lot of conspiracy theories about the Illuminati and all that stuff. That's even beyond that. But, you have a lot of people that say, hey, we choose you versus you. And it could be even that person may have better talent and they might skip that person for a reason. If they feel that they can market somebody, it's all about money, it's all about control, they're going to do that. And again, they're not going to necessarily pick some Joe Schmo off the street that has some talent when they can work with person B and because of their looks or something else, they can make more money on. It's just the reality of the situation, right? And number three is, it's technology. Like right now, back in the old days, you'd have to create a record and tapes and get on the radio. Today, with technology, with never mind like myself that can create AI. I mean, I have a music background, so I kind of know what sounds or I think sounds good, and I know structures and I know music and I play instruments and so forth. But there's some people that can just create, they don't know what they're doing, just create music, or people who have beats, they find these beats and they just rap over them, and there's just tons and tons of music that's out there, right? It's really available. Now, it makes it a little harder for a musician too to compete with everything like that and make a good living unless you're playing out and trying to get out there. But there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of thing. It doesn't take as much. In the old days, you would have to find a band to create the music background, like or get the music. You would have to learn these instruments. Like Prince used to play all the instruments, right? When I was younger, I would use a drum machine, but I would play the keyboards, play the bass, play the guitar parts. I'd have to do it all myself. Nowadays, drag, drop, boom, or have AI, boom, 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 little prompt, boom, done. So it's kind of interesting how that all works just from the convenience of your home. You can just do everything. So I think the overall technology growth has really flooded things, and it's becoming more difficult to compete. Again, these are just my opinions. I want to hear from you because I'm sure you guys have a lot more, experiences and input, and probably even deeper into the music industry than what I have. So, with that said, my final thoughts is DJs. I don't think they're destroying the music industry, or at least what she's putting forth. But I want to hear what you say. I'm really curious. I'm open minded. Everybody has a different experience, and I just hope you come back next week. I'm going to try to do these shows. I got a bunch of different topics to talk about related to music, and keep an eye out for my the songs that come out every month from my artists. I'm able to, you know, it's a whole other show, but what's nice is I can work with these AI artists and, without any prejudice or, based on age or what type of music I do. And you don't have to deal with drama. I can just you take my creativity and funnel it through. And I hope you enjoy those songs and those videos. I try to, the videos will grow and get better over time, but I hope you take a look at them, and I'm hoping to improve on those end of things as well. But thank you so much. This is actually my first video that I'm recording for a show, so I'm sure it's a little rough, but I really appreciate you guys hanging in there and listening to this. And until next time, I'm Edshue. God bless. Talk to you soon. I elevate.